One of the largest needs in the foster care system is as small as a bed. One amazing company helped fill that need.
Hi, my name is Ryan Knauss, president and founder of Trelevate. We provide services around staffing, sales training, and ultimately sales representation for companies and their business products and services. And over the years, we've had the chance to be able to build outreaches where our efforts beyond just hitting targets or numbers or revenue goals around helping our employees become part of doing something that have value in the community. We believe that wholeheartedly, is that we're here for a reason, and it's not just to provide either jobs or income, but ultimately to provide ministry work. And that ministry work sometimes gets into the way of helping others realize that their efforts can do something so powerful, so significant in their local community. We were blessed to meet Thrive many years ago. We had the chance of being introduced to their idea of keeping children and parents together, and every year we do an outreach we call Hands That Matter that bring all of our teams together where we set targets, and if we achieve those targets, we can put those efforts towards something that matters. And this year we had the blessing of being able to help 55 families and their children stay together. And the overwhelming response of the feedback that came from many of our team members wasn't just, the good work that we did, but how it touched their heart because they were either a foster children or they were someone that really went through a hard time, and if someone could have helped them, it would have changed their life. And it's just something that I just want to encourage all of us to do, is to, rather than just look at, the day-to-day or your work, how do you interweave a purpose, a bigger purpose in your efforts? And what good can that do in the community? It's amazing how it will bring both you, your people, or those you serve together. And it's been an absolute blessing here for us at Trelevate.
Well, today we have the incredible honor of interviewing Ryan Knauss, the founder and president of Trelevate. Thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So, Ryan, I just heard your story and what your company, Trelevate, has been doing for Thrive. But first of all, tell us, what is Trelevate?
Sure. Well, we found a very interesting service in a business, which most companies look for great people first. And then second, they have a need to take their brand to market in one way or another. And we provide both the staffing and then all of the manpower or woman power around resourcing talented salespeople, operations, and then all full support infrastructure behind that to help get a product or service into every small to large business in the country.
What an amazing business model. I've never heard of anything like it. So, how did you get into donating beds to Thrive? How does this even begin?
It's so neat. It's neat how God works, because sometimes the most special things are so unexpected. And every year, part of our culture, part of Trelevate has always been about find a group that has a need. And probably about 9 years ago, we, usually it's the holidays, around Thanksgiving, we had this desire, how cool would it be to start helping families, feeding families for Thanksgiving? So the whole idea, we came up with an idea, we called it Hands That Matter, right? And the idea was your hands matter in this world, and we would put together different incentives. And then ultimately, I think our first year, 9 years ago we did it, we ended up with something like 10 families that we fed. And it was awesome, because we were like, boy, if we could just do one, how neat would it be? And it turned out to be 10. So over the years, it started to grow. It would be a couple, 50, 60, and then 100, and 500. And then it's got to a point where you realize that you would help someone with a meal, but then after that, it was all over, right? So we wanted to find something that was a little bit more, I think, just more, it had substance to it. So, over the years, we started to shift it where we would give like coats, and then we would also give, beyond the meal, we would find like water, like just basic necessities, like how do you help people that, are in need? And then a few years ago, a good friend of mine, Franklin, came to us and said, hey, I have the neatest group of people. And we watched this story. It was this Zeta story.
Yes.
And we watched it with just a handful of our executive team, and they saw it, and they were just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
I mean, we can do something that could help keep children and families together.
Yeah.
And our team was just so moved that we all just got behind it. And it's turned out to be something really special.
So you are in a unique position because you are a business founder and a president. You own this business. And What would you say to business owners out there who are watching the importance of getting involved in the community? I know that businesses sometimes are very focused on receiving money, but you guys are different in that you are giving and extending.
I think there's a very special opportunity in any position of authority is to create an environment or a culture where people, they can say, I can do something more significant than just show up to work.
Yeah.
And that was really how we kind of tailored these efforts, were if your efforts were put towards something bigger than just receiving a paycheck or a promotion or recognition. Imagine if your efforts went to help people that were, in need. And so Trelevate, we built the foundation. Even in the name, the idea was 3 levels of elevation. Elevate yourself so you can elevate others, elevate others so that you can elevate the future of a relationship. There's a missional component, and the missional work behind it was, if you can lift those around you, what good could you do outside of just work, right? So I would encourage, anyone that's looking inside of their company, how do we help create an environment where our people or our employees feel like they're serving or giving to something larger than themselves? It just creates such a dynamic environment. Like, people want to come into work. They want to be part of the purpose. And that was what was so neat about Thrive, because you could actually see what your efforts actually do for other people. And that changes then the commitment behind it. And the really big reason that we did this was because I think a lot of people, especially in this day and age, are very skeptical about their time and their money that they give towards, where's it actually going? And there's a lot of statistics, and what I love about what Thrive's doing is where your efforts are going, and you can actually see the good that it can do. And it's amazing the energy that gets behind it. And we're the ones who benefit from it, is we see our teams and our people just love what they're doing, because they know they're helping someone who needs it.
And so what were you guys able to do for Thrive? I understand you gave beds, right?
Yeah.
Were there any numbers behind what you guys were able to do?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So what we did was we tied certain efforts that our teams all around the country would put forth. So we'd say, hey, if we focus on it, and this doesn't come out of your pocket, this isn't something that you have to contribute unless you feel led. But what we're going to do is if we hit these certain benchmarks, we as an organization are going to help a child. So we tied specific energies towards a child or a family. And all of a sudden, the energy and the effort and the productivity starts to ramp like crazy. And then what you see come out of it, right, the idea of, well, I can help keep a child and a family. And that's the whole idea behind Thrive, is that it keeps families together, or it helps families that are in a very hard position where they could lose their children to the foster system. And the idea of the statistics that happen once they're kept together are so much more positive. And I believe that's what we're called to do, is how do you find organizations where, if your efforts are put together, you can go impact others for the greater good. And it's what it does. The purpose behind it was, you got a chance to see people that would not typically want to give, not typically want to be involved. They said, I want to get behind this because I was a foster child. I was someone that was lost to the system, and their productivity went through the roof.
And what's the Bible verse?
Really,
without a purpose, the people will perish. And your company has given people a purpose to work for, and that's really cool to watch. So what's the website for your company?
So it's just www.trelevate.com. So TRELEVATE.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all you did for our Thrive ministry. They've been so impacted by it, and they've told us all about you guys, so thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's been a blessing.
Well, so many amazing companies, just like Trelevate, have gotten behind the cause of Thrive Ministry, our Phoenix Dream Center, Mom's Pantry. There are so many different ministries that you can get behind and encourage your employees and people around you to work for an amazing cause. Go to dreamcitychurch.us to find all the different ministries that you can help out.